of us here. Okay.
My advocate claimed that low-income housing has a negative effect on neighborhoods in the United States. His secondary claims are affordable housing makes areas undesirable to live in, and affordable housing creates an unsafe environment. Well, there's actually a topic mismatch here. His main claim is about low income. His secondary claims are about affordable housing. There's actually a difference. According to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, low-income housing is for low-income people. Affordable housing is for medium family people, basically people who have a little bit more money, but still tight with their budget. So my claim is going to be about affordable housing. Affordable housing has a positive effect on neighborhoods in the United States. The first secondary claim, his first secondary claim, affordable housing makes areas undesirable to live in. His first evidence is affordable housing often need repair, but local government often do not have funds to do so. It is evidently true that government do not have enough money. However, undesirable is a tricky word. The advocate claimed the definition is not wanted. However, there's a conflict. Undesirable and housing not having enough money to repair, there's a conflict here. According to City Lab and Metro US in 2017, there's actually a shortage crisis of affordable housing in the United States. So people want to live in affordable houses, but the lack of money creates uncomfortable situation. So as a result, this evidence is invalid and irrelevant because affordable housing is desired to be lived in, but the uncomfortable word that he should be chosen isn't there. The second evidence from a Harvard study in 2007, my advocate said that affordable housing causes the value of surrounding homes to drop. This is actually untrue and outdated because new studies suggest otherwise. 2017 Washington Post said that Stanford economists concluded that affordable housing actually increased property values because, quote, when a corporate developer comes in and builds nicer houses, it makes the neighborhood better to live, more desirable, more potential to live here. Therefore, this evidence is invalid. The third evidence, the advocate said that affordable housing units often take down parks and functional buildings to create space for construction. Honestly, I don't know why this is a problem because any construction will take down something that is already on the site, whether it's nature or parks or whatever. So I think this evidence is just invalid. The fourth evidence, the advocate said that from a Harvard study in 2017 that affordable housing leads to overpopulation, which can lead to overpopulated schools and restraint on local police department. Well, actually, affordable housing do not lead to overpopulation. It's not because there's affordable housing built here, so people want to come in and everyone want to live in the buildings or overpopulate the area. It's actually immigration leads to overpopulation, and affordable housing are in fact shortage. According to Californians for Pollution Stabilization, Californians' affordable housing shortage linked to immigration, and the total immigrant population has risen from year to year in the United States. The pressure on these affordable housing has increased. So as a result, this evidence of affordable housing creates overpopulation and causing trouble for overpopulating schools, and police department is invalid. The second secondary claim, affordable housing creates an unsafe environment. The first evidence that he provided, my advocate said that affordable housing creates hotspots for violent crimes. Well, first of all, this claim is just generalizing. To put it in perspective, according to New York Times in 2017, Mayor Bill Blasio, the mayor of New York City, announced that the administration has built and preserved over 21,000 new affordable housing units in 2016. That's just in New York. So that's like a lot of affordable housing in the United States. Therefore, not all the units are crime-related. However, the crime-related affordable housing, though, in 2015, Stanford Business concluded that affordable housing in poor neighborhoods actually reduce crime rates because poor neighborhoods do not have generally much investment, so affordable housing is better the area. So as a result, this evidence is valid because affordable housing actually reduces crime, not creating crime. The second evidence, my advocate said that affordable housing promotes racial segregation, and segregation areas average have more crimes. Well, actually, affordable housing do not promote racial segregation. Affordable housing promotes good livings for medium-income households. However, affordable housing were not built in racial segregated areas because, according to New York Times, Justice Anthony Kennedy, a senior associate justice of the Supreme Court of the United States, he said that affordable housing not being built in racial segregated area is because of racism in the 1900s. Well, there's a covenant called racially restrictive covenant, and this is to prevent colored people to live in white communities during the 1920 to 1948. Well, as a result, this covenant limits colored people to get sponsorship from the government to pay mortgages. As a result, colored people did not have enough money, so affordable housing developers, they just moved the affordable housing to the white neighborhoods where they can make money. So affordable housing do not promote racial segregation. Racially restrictive covenant promotes segregation. In fact, right now, affordable housing is one of the solutions to destroy racial segregation. 2015, New York Times said that the Fair Housing Act passed in 1968 was to forbid government to spend money to perpetuate segregation. So instead of building all these affordable housings away from the ghetto areas, they want to bring these buildings back to the, bring them into the ghetto areas so they can invite different races people to be in the neighborhood. So in conclusion, my advocate's main proposition, affordable housing has a negative effect on neighborhoods in the United States, is defeated because his secondary claims and evidence are often untrue and outdated, and affordable housing actually has a positive effect on neighborhoods in America. Thank you.
Thank you for staying. Okay. What's that?
The rooster?
That's not a rooster, that's a coyote's,
Oh, I thought
which always freaks me out because that's where my car is parked and I have to go out there later. All right, Alexander, look, you followed the structure pretty clearly. I like the challenge that you had on the definition of affordable versus low income. That's reasonable. There's usually a counterclaim on most of your arguments. You frequently seem to suggest that there's a problem with the advocate's evidence, but the truth is it's not that there's a problem with the advocate's evidence. You just have evidence that reaches a different conclusion. So don't present it as if this is an attack on the advocate's information. Present it as an attack on their reasoning and presenting a counterclaim on those points, because I think that you're equivocating the fact that you have different information with the idea that that means their information is wrong. There's a difference. You found information that leads to a different conclusion. Now let's compare that information. Their information is old, yours is more recent. Your information deals with affordable housing, theirs identifies low-income housing. Your information is, has specific examples, their information doesn't have specifics. That's the way you would want to compare the information. And then I think you've got a better point there. I thought that you did a pretty good job identifying the counter-causality on a couple of points, like the racial issue. It's largely related to what are now illegal racial covenants that, those things got abandoned decades ago, but that might have had a part of the process of isolating groups. The Anthony Kennedy evidence is pretty good on that particular point. The issue about crime, you've got a general piece of information about this. I don't remember what the advocate's information was on this particular point, but I think yours was pretty good on those particular points. You cite specific studies. Like I said, there's a lot of argument about what does affordable mean, and is it desirable, is it undesirable, is it uncomfortable, is it I think there's an argument to be made here that says that we simply have a definitional problem more than anything else that's going on here. All right, thank you.